If you missed the first video from Antarctica, firstly, what are you even doing with your life? Secondly, you might have seen we ran into some bad weather. However, it feels like things are turning for the positive. Despite occasional high winds, we find ourselves sailing through epic terrain and finding sheltered passages where the absolute epicness of Antarctica gets put on display. This place is like nowhere else on the planet. And we'll get to more of it, but first, today's video is sponsored by Squarespace.com. Squarespace is an awesome place for photographers, or anyone really, to build a professional-looking website really quickly. There are a lot of community-driven aspects that go beyond building the website as well. For example, you can make a gated community area to both earn revenue and connect with your audience. And if you're looking to streamline your photography business, there are loads of options to integrate third-party e-commerce programs which allow you to take payments, manage inventory, promote products, and even streamline your bookkeeping and accounting. Of course, all of this is a bonus beyond the beautiful and easy-to-use Squarespace website templates they're known for. So, head to squarespace.com/BrendanVanson for a 10% discount on your first purchase. The weather's not great. It was really nice as we were cruising to where we are now, which is Wilhelmina Bay. It was unreal, actually, just phenomenal. We're at Wilhelmina Bay and it's not great, but the winds are calmer. And this is a pretty cool spot to try to find like seals and whales and wildlife on the fast ice because it hasn't totally broken up yet. It's still early in the summer. So yeah, we're gonna go Zodiac cruising today, and I'm actually not even gonna bring the long lens, the wide angle, or film. I'm just gonna bring my long lens, and all I've brought on this Antarctica trip for long lens is my 70-200 and the 100-400. So I'm not packing like 500 millimeters f2.8s or 600 f4 or anything like that. It's pretty simple stuff. And I literally just saw a seal playing in the water outside. So I think this is gonna be good. Let's get out there. Wilhelmina Bay is special. It's one of those places you just can't forget. I was here 12 years ago, and it's actually the only name I still remember from that trip. It's a playground for seals and whales feeding on krill. It's a graveyard for icebergs. It's paradise for photographers. From the Zodiac, we explored, searching for ice, whales, or anything. We didn't have far to look. We spotted a bunch of birds gathering on bubbling waters. A humpback whale. With a bit of snow blowing from the peaks, we begged for that classic story. The tale of the time you photographed a perfect whale tail. Yeah, I know it's called a fluke, but this photo wasn't. We worked for it. We floated around the beautiful whales, there were 2 or 3, for nearly an hour trying to capture the perfect moment. Then we started to get greedy. Lisa, our guide and a pretty badass photographer herself, twisted us around all sorts of angles in our attempt to elaborate on our photo. I wanted a whale tail surrounded by the environment. Without this landscape, there's no scale. Without this environment, the whale could be anywhere. And without this pristine environment, this whale wouldn't be here, period. After successfully filling a memory card with whales, we drifted around icebergs the size of airport hangars looking for more wildlife. Eventually, we spotted a slimy log on the ice, a leopard seal, Antarctica's apex predator. Unfortunately, they're not so exciting while they nap, so we turned our attention to the ice. Like kids looking at clouds, we searched for things in the ice. This one looks like an angry bird. That one, a dinosaur. Later, we did spot some more lazy seals, this time, Weddles. And eventually, we hopped our way atop the waves back to the ship. And as we do, the weather turned again. And then it turned once more. As you can tell by by the brightness outside, it's basically midnight. Sunset's at midnight. I wanted to come out and try to get some photos at like this midnight sun moment. Sunset is literally midnight, like 12:20, and then sunrise is 2 in the morning. So I was hoping to get some photos out here, but we're cruising. As you can see, we're moving pretty quick. So I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do it, but I have over here my 70 to 200, and I'm probably just gonna crank up the ISO a little bit and yeah, try to get some images. It is absolutely incredible here. I mean, look at these mountains with the light hitting them. I probably should have put on a grad NT, but I'm kind of just gonna like handhold like I'm James Popsis and hope for some cool images. Unfortunately, in the time I spent talking and shooting the B-roll, most of the really epic light dissipated. Still, there's an image there. I called it a night, and in the morning, we woke up to this. Wow, so we just got some sleep and have just come onto deck at about 7 in the morning because check this out, we're cruising through some sea ice. It's absolutely insane. Literally, look at this. Gnarly. Due to wind, weather, and sea ice, we've been pretty limited on our landings. In fact, we've only set foot on land once so far, and it's day 3 in Antarctica. But we've been spoiled as well. Busting through sea ice like this is not normal down here. We're seeing the Antarctic Peninsula as it opens up, only now allowing ships to make their way through its narrow passages. And there are definitely some photos here. The ice broke into hexagonal art, and even with overcast skies, it's definitely photo worthy. Then the clouds lift, and there are no words needed. Okay, so sorry for the humming that's in the background, but they're dropping Zodiacs down right now. That over there, the tiny little hut, is Port Lockroy. This is British controlled, I guess is the way to put it. There's a post office there and a museum, and it's closed now because of COVID, but usually it's open and it's really cool because there's like penguins all around this post office. So apparently we're landing. And the weather's calmed down quite a bit. It's pretty overcast, but this location looks phenomenal from here. And I have been here before, but I don't remember it looking this icy and epic. So it looks like there's a penguin colony up there, a rookery, probably Gentoo penguins in this area, and just massive sheets of ice behind it. So we're heading there, and then apparently doing another landing on another island right around here as well. So let's head to land. This is only the second time we're setting foot on hard land on this trip because the weather's been so crazy. It's been amazing, but the weather has been kind of crazy. But yeah, this is awesome. Let's go check out some penguins. We ended up at the little penguin island first, and I'm not complaining about it. How cool is it to be surrounded by this kind of cuteness? Like little grooms, the Gentoos waddled around the rookery in their dirty little tuxedos. Everything they do is cute, and every photo of them just kind of works. But it's a trap to think just because a photo is good, doesn't mean it can't be better. I spent the better part of 2 hours getting as low as I could. I put myself in awkward and uncomfortable positions to get images that don't look awkward and uncomfortable. I use the foreground of snow to create bokeh and depth. The whiteness of the snow creates natural minimalism, if you use it right. And if you find the right angle, you can skip right past the minimalism and find an epic penguin environmental portrait. After lots of quality time with both Gentoo and chinstrap penguins, we waddled our way through the waves to the post office, where the snow started to blow. The weather started to roll in, and it didn't matter because we were welcomed by the cutest of tour guides. And the snow was kind of a blessing too. It offered some drama to otherwise simple images of penguins. And taking the photos at a really shallow depth of field allowed me to capture a dramatic, dreamy-like mood to the wintry images. Okay, we're back on board. It's actually the next day. We had so much fun photographing penguins and got back and we're on such a high that I forgot to finish filming yesterday's video. It's sunny, so mind the squinting. I probably should have sunglasses on. Anyways, we're heading to, I'm not actually sure where we're heading. That way? Opposite way, where there's a bit of a hike and potentially more penguins. And if you are following the penguin photography on today's episode, the one tip that I can't drive home enough is you have to get at least down to penguin eye level. You have to get on your stomach or on your back or on your side or below them somehow to give them that like impact in the photo. If you photograph from top down, they really look small and weak, but when you're photographing them from down up, you get this power and this majesty of them. And in Antarctica here, you kind of want to give them that majesty. So we're gonna go looking for more penguins. I think potentially there's some chinstrap penguins here, maybe some more Gentoo, and hopefully some Adelie, because those are my favorite little dudes. So yeah, let's jump on one of these Zodiacs and get cruising. Another day, another landing. We soaked our boots in decontaminant and headed ashore. But first, we cruised a bit. Okay, we're on land, or should I say snow. We were just in the water for like maybe an hour, and there was a leopard seal. There was a snow petrel. It was kind of awesome. There was also a lot of porpoising penguins, and I made a mistake that I make a lot when I'm doing wildlife photography, in that I'm trying to get as fast a shutter speed as possible, so my aperture is super low, trying to get that cool depth of field. But when you're at f5.6 and the subject isn't that far away from you, your plane of focus is so narrow that it's really easy to miss or not get everything in focus. So I was at f5.6 and I got really close to a cool porpoising penguin photo. And if I would have been at f8 or f11 like I should have been, it would have been a pretty good shot. So don't get in this headspace that when you're doing wildlife photography, you need to be f2.8 or f4. A lot of the best wildlife photos are at like f8, f11, just because with that focal distance of 400, 500 millimeters, the amount of stuff that's in focus is really, really low. So yeah, something to think about, and something I need to think about a little bit more myself. I forgot to take any video footage on the penguin walk up the hill. So here are some photos I took from the hike. A lonely penguin among penguin highways. A Gentoo with an epic background. a skua swooping overhead looking for eggs to snatch, and a squadron of penguins on patrol. We made it to the top here and it is epic. I mean, it is unreal. The views from this island are 360 up here. You see through the fjord. There was a whale off in the distance. Obviously can't see it on this little wide angle, but this is just absolutely special. Special. That's the word that keeps coming out of my mouth here in Antarctica. Special. And it'll be special again next time, too, I promise you. And you might be able to join that one. I'm leading another trip with Polar Latitudes in January 2023. It's gonna be incredible. And there's still space available on that trip. Not only is it me, but there's about 10 other epic photographers on that trip as well, leading a whole ship of photo-loving, nature-loving, wildlife-loving, fun-loving people. So check out the link in the description below, and maybe you can join me in Antarctica, and maybe I'll see you there. And if not, maybe on the next video. Peace!